Privacy is not just about keeping secrets. It is about protecting your peace, your mind, and your energy. In a world where people crave attention and validation, the ability to remain private is a rare and powerful trait. Too many people mistake openness for authenticity, believing that sharing every detail of their personal life will make them more relatable or respected. But the truth is, the more you reveal, the more control you give away. When you keep your personal life private, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability is power. The moment people know too much about you, your struggles, your relationships, your finances, your emotions, they gain leverage. They know how to influence you. They know what triggers you. They know where you are weak. And trust me, not everyone listening to your story is doing so with good intentions. Some are simply collecting data, waiting for the right time to use it against you. Privacy is also about control. The less you share, the more you control the narrative of your own life. The moment you start revealing too much, you open the door for opinions, judgments, and interference. You allow people to insert themselves into your decisions, whether directly or indirectly. And once that door is open, it is very hard to close. Think about this. How many times have you told someone about a goal you were excited about, only to feel drained afterward? You felt that way because instead of using that energy to execute, you used it to explain. Every time you share something prematurely, you dilute its power. You invite doubt, criticism, and sometimes even envy. Some people will pretend to support you, but deep down, they are hoping you fail. And even those who genuinely care may unintentionally plant seeds of doubt in your mind, making you question yourself. Another aspect of privacy is emotional security. The more people know about your emotional state, the more they can manipulate it. If they know what makes you happy, they can control you by giving or withholding it. If they know what makes you angry, they can push your buttons whenever they want. When you keep your emotions guarded, you remain in control of your own reactions. Let's talk about relationships. Whether it's friendships, romantic relationships, or family dynamics, privacy is key. Oversharing details about your relationship with friends or coworkers can create unnecessary drama and invite unwanted opinions. The more you talk about your problems, the more people feel entitled to comment on them. Before you know it, your personal issues are public discussions, and now you're dealing with external influences instead of focusing on what truly matters. This applies to successes too. There's a reason why people say move in silence. The moment you start announcing your next big move, the negativity begins. Some will try to discourage you, while others will try to compete with you. And worst of all, there are those who will actively work against you just to see you fail. The safest way to build is to keep your plans private until they are so solid that no outside force can shake them. Another important reason to embrace privacy is self-preservation. Your energy is finite. Every time you share something personal, you are giving away a piece of yourself. You are opening up a space for others to enter, comment, judge, or influence. And let's be honest, not all feedback is constructive. Some of it is just noise, distractions that pull you away from your path. The more private you are, the more focused you become. You stop worrying about what others think and start making decisions based on what truly aligns with your goals. Privacy also fosters independence. When you are not constantly seeking validation or advice, you learn to trust yourself. You become more self-reliant, more confident in your own decisions. You stop second-guessing yourself because your actions are based on your own intuition and logic, not on the opinions of outsiders. There's another side to this, protection from unnecessary stress. The less people know about your struggles, the less you have to deal with unsolicited advice, opinions, and sometimes even criticism. Not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. But when you keep things private, you spare yourself the emotional exhaustion of explaining, defending, or justifying your choices. You stay focused on the path ahead instead of getting lost in conversations that do not serve you. Privacy is also about maintaining an element of mystery. In both personal and professional life, being an open book can sometimes work against you. When people think they know everything about you, they stop being curious. They stop respecting your boundaries. But when you maintain an air of mystery, people respect you more. They wonder what you're thinking, what you're planning, what you're capable of. And that mystery creates an aura of strength and confidence. One of the most common mistakes people make is assuming that just because someone listens, they care. That is not always true. Some people listen out of curiosity, some out of boredom, and some with the intent to use your words against you later. The best way to protect yourself is to share only what is necessary, only with those who have earned the right to hear it. In today's digital age, privacy is even more critical. Social media has created a culture where people feel the need to share every aspect of their lives, what they eat, where they go, who they are with, what they are thinking. But every time you post something, you are exposing yourself to an audience that you cannot fully control. You never know who is watching, who is analyzing, who is plotting. The more private you are, the more secure you remain. At the end of the day, privacy is about self-respect. It is about recognizing that your life is valuable and not everyone deserves a front row seat. It is about understanding that your personal experiences, both good and bad, are sacred. They are meant to be protected, nurtured, and guarded against those who do not have your best interests at heart. The fewer people who know your business, the less interference you will have in your life. The less interference you have, the clearer your path will be. And the clearer your path, the faster you will move toward your goals without unnecessary distractions. We live in a world where people wear masks. They smile at you, shake your hand, nod in agreement, and say the right things. But behind those words, behind those friendly gestures, not everyone has pure intentions. Some are watching not to support you, but to study you. Some are listening not to help you, but to gather information. And some are close to you, not because they admire you, but because they are waiting for the right moment to strike. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is assuming that everyone around you is on your side. Just because someone claps when you win doesn't mean they are happy for you. Just because they offer advice doesn't mean they want to see you succeed. And just because they listen to your problems doesn't mean they care. Some people only stick around because they want access to your thoughts, your plans, your emotions, so they can use them when it benefits them. Think about it. How many times have you confided in someone only to later regret it? How many times have you shared your struggles only to find your own words being used against you? This happens more often than we realize because we tend to see people the way we want them to be rather than for who they really are. We assume that if we are good to others, they will be good to us. But life doesn't work that way. Some people are only in your life because they see an opportunity to take, to manipulate, to compete, or even to destroy. The truth is, most people don't show you who they really are right away. Some are skilled at deception. They will act like they support you, like they want the best for you, but deep down, they are envious. They may never admit it, but they don't want you to go too far ahead of them. They don't want you to shine too brightly. They don't want you to achieve something they couldn't. So they disguise their intentions, keeping you close, pretending to celebrate you, all while secretly hoping you stumble. This is why you must be careful about who you share your personal life with. The more information you give, the more ammunition you provide. If someone knows your fears, they can exploit them. If they know your weaknesses, they can attack them. If they know your dreams, they can work against them. And the scariest part, you won't always see it coming. Betrayal rarely comes from enemies. It comes from those you trust. There are people who are drawn to you not because of who you are, but because of what you offer. Maybe you bring value to their life. Maybe they like being associated with you because it makes them look good. Maybe they enjoy being around you because it gives them access to opportunities they wouldn't have on their own. But the moment you stop serving their interests, they vanish, they lose respect, they turn cold. Because their loyalty was never to you, it was to what you could provide. This is why testing people is essential. Too many people give away trust freely, assuming that good intentions are enough. But trust should be earned, not given. Before you open up to someone, observe them. Watch how they react when you succeed. Do they celebrate you or do they seem uncomfortable? Watch how they respond when you struggle. Do they offer real support or do they just want the details? Pay attention to what they say about others. Because if they gossip about someone else, they will gossip about you too. Sometimes people will disguise their envy as advice. They'll say things like, "Are you sure you can handle that?" Or maybe you should think twice before making that move. At first, it seems like concern, but if you look deeper, you'll see it for what it is, doubt, disguised as guidance. These people don't want to push you forward. They want to hold you back. Not in an obvious way, but in a subtle, manipulative way that makes you question yourself. And here's something most people don't want to admit. Not everyone who hurts you does it intentionally. Some people don't even realize they are envious. Some don't know that they secretly want to see you struggle. They might even believe they have good intention, but their subconscious actions reveal the truth. They might downplay your success, make passive-aggressive comments, or discourage you under the guise of looking out for you. One of the most dangerous types of people is the one who competes with you in secret. They act like they support you, but in reality, they are constantly measuring themselves against you. They might imitate you, copy your ideas, or try to outdo you at every turn, but they'll never admit it. They'll pretend they aren't affected, but deep down, they are watching your every move, trying to stay one step ahead. Then there are those who seem to be on your side when you're at your lowest. They listen, they offer comfort, they make you feel like they care. But sometimes their presence isn't about helping you, it's about feeding their own ego. They like being in a position where they feel superior. They like seeing you vulnerable because it makes them feel stronger. The moment you regain your power, the moment you rise back up, their attitude changes. Suddenly they aren't as supportive. Suddenly they aren't as available because they preferred you when you were struggling. It made them feel important. This is why you must always be mindful of who you allow into your inner circle. Not everyone deserves access to your personal life. Not everyone needs to know your plans, your struggles, or your emotions. Keep people at a distance until they have proven themselves. Watch their patterns, not their words. Listen to what they say when they don't think you're paying attention. See how they treat people who can do nothing for them. At the end of the day, people are not always what they seem. Some are genuine, some are opportunists, and some are enemies in disguise. The less you share, the less control they have. The less they know, the less they can manipulate. And the fewer people who truly know you, the safer you will be. Your life is your story, and the way you tell it determines how the world sees you. Every word you speak, every detail you reveal, and every action you take contributes to the perception people have of you. The problem is, too many people give others control over their narrative. They share too much, too soon, with too many people, allowing outside voices to shape their identity, influence their decisions, and even dictate their self-worth. The moment you share your struggles, your dreams, or your personal life with the wrong people, you give them a say in your story. You allow them to form opinions, to judge, to spread their version of your truth. And here's the harsh reality. Once a narrative is out there, you can't take it back. You can try to correct it, explain it, or defend yourself, but people will always believe what they want to believe. That's why it's so important to control the way your story is told, because if you don't, someone else will. The less people know, the less they can twist, misinterpret, or use against you. Think about how quickly rumors spread. One small piece of personal information in the wrong hands can be exaggerated, distorted, and turned into something completely different. A harmless comment about your struggles can be turned into a story of failure. A casual mention of your ambitions can be painted as arrogance. A minor setback can be blown out of proportion and turned into gossip. And once that narrative starts, it takes on a life of its own. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that others will tell their story accurately. But the truth is, no one will ever tell your story the way you would. People filter information through their own experiences, biases, and perceptions. What you say and what they hear are often two completely different things. And once they retell it, the story changes even more. The safest way to protect your truth is to control what you reveal and to whom. Another danger of sharing too much is that it invites unnecessary opinions. The more people know, the more they feel entitled to weigh in. Suddenly, your personal life becomes a topic of discussion. People start offering advice you didn't ask for. They start questioning your choices, doubting your abilities, and inserting their own beliefs into your story. And the worst part, their words can start to influence you. Even if you don't realize it, constant exposure to other people's opinions can plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Imagine working on a big goal, something deeply personal, something that means everything to you. You share it with a few people, excited about your vision. And then the questions start. Are you sure that's a good idea? What if it doesn't work? What if you fail? What if you're wasting your time? Even if you were 100% confident before, those words create doubt. They make you hesitate. They slow you down. And sometimes they even make you quit. Not because your goal wasn't possible, but because you let someone else's perspective rewrite your story. And let's talk about social media, one of the biggest traps when it comes to controlling your narrative. In today's world, people feel the need to document everything. They share their highs, their lows, their relationships, their plans. But what they don't realize is that every post, every update, and every story adds another layer to how people perceive them. And once something is out there, it no longer belongs to you alone. It belongs to the audience. Social media is not your diary. It's not your therapist. It's not your safe space. Every time you post, you're giving people insight into your life. And while some may support you, others are quietly analyzing, judging, and even hoping for your downfall. Some are taking notes, looking for patterns, waiting for inconsistencies, and preparing to use your own words against you. The more they know, the more control they have over your story. One of the smartest things you can do is to be selective about what you share. That doesn't mean you have to be secretive. It means you have to be strategic. Ask yourself, why am I sharing this? Who is this for? What do I gain from putting this out into the world? If the answer doesn't serve your best interests, then it's better left unsaid. People respect mystery. They are drawn to those who don't reveal everything. When you hold back, you create intrigue. You make people wonder. You keep them guessing. And that in itself is a form of power. The less they know, the more they have to assume. And assumptions are often based on respect, curiosity, and even admiration. Look at the most successful and influential people in the world. Do they constantly explain themselves? Do they seek validation? Do they overshare their personal lives? No. They operate with intention. They control the narrative. They reveal only what serves their goals and keep the rest protected. That's not an accident. It's a strategy. Another reason to guard your narrative is to protect your peace. The more you share, the more you invite unnecessary stress. The more people are involved in your business, the more complicated things become. The more opinions you allow in, the more difficult it is to focus on your path. When you keep things private, you eliminate distractions. You move with clarity. You stay in control of your emotions, your decisions, and your direction. Privacy is not about isolation. It's about power. When you control your narrative, you control your destiny. When you choose what to reveal and what to withhold, you dictate how the world sees you. And when you refuse to let others write your story, you ensure that your truth remains yours and yours alone. Everything in life is energy. Your thoughts, your emotions, your focus, all of it determines your reality. The people you allow into your life, the conversations you engage in, and the things you share, all influence your energy. And yet, so many people give their energy away carelessly, allowing themselves to be drained by unnecessary drama, toxic relationships, and pointless discussions. Every time you share personal details with someone, you are transferring energy. You are inviting them into your world, into your thoughts, into your emotions. And not everyone deserves that access. Some people thrive on negativity. They listen to your struggles not to support you, but to feed their own need for superiority. Others are emotional parasites, always taking, always draining, never giving anything back. And the more you engage with these people, the more exhausted you become. Have you ever noticed how some conversations leave you feeling lighter, while others leave you feeling depleted? That's not a coincidence. Words carry energy. When you share your personal life with people who are not genuinely supportive, you walk away feeling drained. That's because they have taken from you your enthusiasm, your confidence, your momentum. They may not have done it intentionally, but their doubts, their judgments, and their negativity subtly weigh you down. You must start treating your energy like currency. Every conversation you engage in, every secret you reveal, every moment you spend explaining yourself is a withdrawal. If you keep giving without replenishing, eventually you'll run out. And when your energy is low, everything suffers. Your motivation, your focus, your productivity. You start second-guessing yourself. You start procrastinating. You start feeling stuck. Not because you aren't capable, but because you've allowed too many people to drain your mental and emotional resources. One of the biggest ways people lose energy is by seeking validation. They share their goals, their problems, their personal struggles because they want reassurance. They want to hear, "You're doing great. You're on the right track. You'll be okay." But the truth is, constantly seeking external validation is exhausting. It puts your energy in the hands of others. Instead of fueling yourself from within, you become dependent on outside opinions. And the moment you don't get the response you were hoping for, your energy takes a hit. Think about how much energy is wasted on unnecessary explanations. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. You don't need to justify your decisions, your goals, your mindset. Yet people spend so much time defending their choices, worrying about what others think, and trying to convince people of their worth. That energy could be spent on growth, on execution, on progress, but instead it's wasted on conversations that lead nowhere. Not everyone is meant to understand you. Not everyone deserves to hear your story. The more selective you are with what you share, the more control you have over your energy. You stop engaging in meaningless discussions. You stop allowing other people's opinions to dictate your mood. You move in silence, with focus, with purpose, and that in itself is a source of power. Another major energy drain is emotional exposure. The more you share about your personal struggles, the more vulnerable you become. And vulnerability is not a weakness, but when given to the wrong people, it becomes a liability. Some people will pretend to care only to use your pain as entertainment. They will act sympathetic only to store your weaknesses for later use. They will listen, but not because they want to help, because they want to compare, to compete, or to gossip. Energy leaks also happen when you engage in too many different battles. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not every comment requires a response. Not every situation needs your input. Some people provoke you just to get a reaction. Some situations are designed to pull you into negativity. And every time you engage, you are spending energy that could be used on something that actually matters. Silence is one of the greatest tools for energy conservation. When you hold back, when you resist the urge to overshare, you keep your power. You don't allow outside forces to influence your emotion. You don't give others the satisfaction of knowing how you feel, what you think, or what your next move is. You stay focused, you stay in control, you keep your energy directed toward what truly matters. Another way to protect your energy is by choosing your environment wisely. The people around you, the conversations you engage in, the content you consume, it all impacts your state of mind. If you surround yourself with people who are constantly negative, constantly complaining, constantly gossiping, that energy seeps into you. You may think you're unaffected, but over time it drains you. Your thoughts become heavier, your motivation fades, your clarity weakens. And then there's the danger of emotional investment in things you can't control. Too many people waste energy worrying about the opinions of others, stressing over things that may never happen, holding on to past mistakes. This is energy that could be used to build, to grow, to evolve. But instead, it is spent on thoughts that serve no purpose. Protecting your energy means being intentional about where you place your focus. It means knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. It means choosing wisely who gets access to your emotions. It means understanding that not every battle is worth fighting, not every comment is worth addressing, and not every relationship is worth maintaining. The strongest people are not the ones who share everything. They are the ones who know what to keep to themselves. They are the ones who move with purpose, who speak with intention, who protect their peace at all costs. They are not easily swayed, not easily drained, not easily distracted. They guard their energy the way a warrior guards his weapon, because they know that once it's depleted, everything else crumbles. When you stop giving your energy away to the wrong people, you gain clarity. Your confidence grows. Your actions become sharper, more precise. You stop explaining, stop seeking approval, stop engaging in conversations that do not serve you. You become a force that cannot be shaken, a presence that demands respect without saying a word.